So now we want to return to the Oklahoma tornado tragedy that started Friday, and it's still developing.
We want to go to our Dave Malkoff in Reno, Oklahoma, just west of Oklahoma City, where the deadly EF3 tornado touched down on Friday. And there was a lot of damage as well in this area, Malkoff.
Yeah, in the moments after a storm, search and rescue teams will go house to house looking for survivors and looking for victims. If they find nobody in the house, they will put a big spray paint X on the side of the house. The family in here was not here. They got out to a shelter. But look at the damage here. This morning, we've got a story of a family that survived the tornado inside a house that was damaged even worse than this one.
There's no time to waste. Right now, you have to get to your shelter.
Just as meteorologist Mike Bettis was sending out that urgent warning, the woman in this house was snapping a pic for Facebook.
My husband goes, "We need to go now." And I had just hit post right as we left.
Kelly Gatz had no idea the twister was taking a turn, getting ready to wipe out her home.
And the shelters was in the garage around the other side of my car.
After a deadly tornado over a decade ago, the Gatz family decided they needed a shelter, an investment that paid off.
When we built a house, we had it put in with a slab, and it was probably about $2,500.
From the outside, this metal storm shelter doesn't look very comfortable. From the inside, let me tell you, it definitely is not. But 5 people were in here with 4 dogs, and they all survived because of this.
Keep going if you can. Everybody duck down. Everybody duck down.
The same power that lifted our tornado hunt vehicle 30 feet into the air.
It was going north, and before we knew it, it was here.
Also levitated Kelly Gatz. She exited the shelter thinking the danger had passed. It had not.
I just started floating up. I felt like I was totally weightless, it seemed like. I just started floating up.
Her husband pulled his wife out of the air and back into that $2,500 shelter. Underneath the house,
it's gone.
They will rebuild here in tornado-ravaged Oklahoma.
Everywhere has the acts of God. I don't know how you can avoid them, really. But, I mean, I don't know how you can avoid the weather. I mean, you can prepare for it, though. And I love my home.
And they're going to rebuild, as you heard from Kelly. As I was talking to her, it occurred to me, Stephanie and Al, that $2,500 is something that you would spend for a big fancy TV or spend for maybe a kitchen set or a nice couch. But that's $2,500 well spent, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely, Dave. So, Dave, you've been there. I know when I saw you there in Moore, Oklahoma, and you've been there since then. Give us, if you can, the mood of the folks there, because, I mean, they're just getting hammered week after week now. I mean, this is unprecedented.
Yeah, they have people who have been here for 50 years plus say that they have never seen this amount of intense tornadoes come through and do this amount of destruction. What we haven't seen here, since it's not as much of a densely populated area like Moore is those neighborhoods that are just completely wiped out. This is more of a rural area, so you have homes that are spread out, but that doesn't mean that it's any less damaging to the families themselves. They have to rebuild. The family who lived here is going to have to move in with their children now.
Dave Malkoff covering and doing really great work for us. Thank you so much, Dave.
You know what's interesting too is you never come across anyone in these that say, "I'm leaving, I'm out." Everyone rebuilds.
Yep, absolutely. Well, coming up on Wake Up with Al, storms on land and at sea.